So other stuff, because we got more. The CEO of Activision, Bobby Kotick, which has been involved in a lot of sexual allegations, he will remain CEO for the time being. What's the name? I think until the acquisition is like 100% complete, and then after that, the Bobby will be answering to Microsoft, Phil Spencer in specific. But like, I feel like this is them sunsetting him. He's gonna stay in place just so like you don't want to switch CEOs in the middle of an acquisition,
in the middle of a merger.
Yeah, in the middle of a merger, they want to make sure the deal is 100% done. Then I feel like they're gonna pay him off and just make him leave, basically. Yeah, force him out, basically. I think that's what's gonna happen.
I'm kind of sad that he leaves with a golden parachute, but that's capitalism, baby. That's the woes of capitalism.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. I think they're gonna get him the fuck up out of here because
there's no way. I think like Phil knows this. He's like, that would be such a PR nightmare to like own Activision and keep Bobby on. Like that would just be a nightmare. To get good, like somebody said this on Twitter and I said they've been brilliant. A viral moment would be like if you got security guards dressed up as like Spartans from Halo and just dragged him out of the office. Like that would have been like, from a viral standpoint, that would have been like really crazy, like insane to do something like that to like embarrass him or something. But who knows? Who knows? I won't do that.
I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Like, I get where you're going with that, but I wouldn't do that because then it's being insensitive to a very serious topic. Like, we're talking about like sexual assault and allegations, and then you're talking about bringing Master Chief in and dragging this nigga out. I feel like that wouldn't be received well.
No, that's extra. That's exaggerated. That's exaggerated.
That's exaggerated. I
think that people need to. I think that like if everything that he did was true, like 100% true, he does need to be public humiliated. No, I don't even think he has to go. He needs to be publicly humiliated. Like there has to be some sort of consequence. Because like I said, he's
not leaving with a golden parachute.
No. I agree. There needs to be consequences, just a little bit more serious. That's what I'm saying.
This needs to.
At that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, it needs to be public. It needs to be public because people are like the people who truly care about this, the people who he's actually affected. Like if he just slips out the back door with however much money, however much million, like that sucks. And it's even worse because this always happens. It's not just in this particular situation. Like there have been so many people who have been in the higher up positions that they do something bad, and then they'll either resign themselves or whoever ends up taking over, they'll just be like, okay, like this person stepped down, like whatever, and then they'll just slip out the back door, and then they're just living their lives, and I think that people need to be publicly punished because it's going to continue to happen until someone gets made an example out of. So I think in this situation in our industry, like if this man truly did this and Activision was such a terrible company, in the internals, no, he needs to be publicly humiliated. Like obviously not the Spartan thing, like that's just crazy.
I'll take it.
It'd be funny.
I'll take Doomslayer pulling up on him and kicking him out. It'd be funny.
No, it'll be absolutely hilarious. But no, it needs
I
to be
personally would
like,
think
it needs to be some
funny.
Consequences.
I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, do you really want to piss off blue hair people that look for any reason to be mad? That's what I'm looking at.
I don't know. I think that shit would be like, obviously, like if you fixing the problem, right? Like, and this is like a show of good faith to like start it off, but like humiliating him for like humiliating all of you, I think that's a good beginning gesture of faith. Obviously, like that, you can't just do that and just be like, all right, that's it. In the culture,
they would have to hire like some good writers. It's got to be real tasteful, I think, because like that could backfire in their face. I think.
Obviously, yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Seeing like Bobby Kotick getting dragged out of his office, I don't think would make anybody upset. I think would bring everybody immense joy. And just adding like a Spartan, maybe just
tie his legs to a warthog.
Maybe a little, maybe a little, Halo melee on the back of there to kick him out of the office. I don't think anyone's gonna be mad about that. The only person gonna be mad about that is Bobby Kotick. That's the only person who will be really mad about that shit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just get all the Microsoft characters. You
get them all to beat his ass.
Get Master Chief, and then just walk him out the office or something. Like
it's like the meme where you watch them. Yeah, it's like when you see the gang meme where they're beating the shit out of him for the initiations, like fight back and like that. Like they did that to him. That shit would be funny as fuck. I would definitely laugh at that shit. I'd be like, yeah, motherfucker deserves that shit. Some people, I agree with JG. Some people need to get humiliated like that, because granted, like he's not gonna walk away with this without making a shitload of money that more than we'll all probably make in our lifetime, which is insane. So the least we can do is humiliate him while he gets it, at least, and
especially
not just walk
with
away.
This other news that apparently he was trying to buy Kotaku and PC Gamer.
Bro,
trying to silence the press.
When I saw that, I said, "Oh no, he pulling the Jeff Bezos." I said,
"Oh shit!" Bezos,
I said, "Oh shit!" But and this again, like, kind of goes back to the point that we were trying to make. Like, if you really were trying to buy Kotaku, because and like I mentioned before in previous podcasts, when we saw that Kotaku article, I think the Kotaku article was the one that sent them over the edge, because they not only brought up situation about him, but they talked about the entire board. And like I said, it got really serious because they said that some of the people that were at the board on Activision were a part of Jeffrey Epstein's little red book. So like I said, no, that stuff is crazy. Like it gets worse than just a couple of sexual harassment cases. And just think about the people that were actually affected by this, and that's what I really care about in this situation. Think about the people that are actually affected, like because Microsoft essentially just saved him. Really, like they just saved him. It doesn't matter how how much that the board of directors of Activision were defending him and were like, we're just going to stand behind him and whatnot. Think about the people who actually affected at the bottom, like the actual workers who were at the ground level, who have to deal with this stuff every day and didn't want to talk about it until it became too much and more people were affected. So those are people that I really care about. And if you're just going to slip out the back door, Microsoft essentially just saved him from getting any type of consequences, any type of punishment, then that's messed up. I don't like that.
Yep, that's facts.
Get him the fuck out of here.
I'm happy they got him the fuck out of here, because I'll be honest with you, Microsoft, at least from a culture standpoint, is way better. Not only do I think, like, obviously, like, the sexual harassment shit is terrible, and it's definitely like way higher priority than anything else. I think that, like, toxic culture in the workplace, that's terrible too. But on top of that, like, this is not me saying, like, trying to like act like, oh, this is the same level, but I'm just saying, like, the way they have creatively killed, like, franchises, people's creativity, the devs that work on these games that have, like, come up with these unique, cool type of games, and they turn them into Call of Duty win cycles to just go in there, just make another Call of Duty, bro, just wind up another Call of Duty, instead of letting them, like, experiment and create new IP and stuff like that. Like, that shit too, like, bro, like, I'm just happy that Microsoft at least has shown multiple times that they're not a studio that is not like, hey, we need you to turn this thing out every single year. We're a studio that's like, hey, if you want to work on something creative, go for it. And they've shown that multiple times.
It's no way they're not going to get him the fuck out of here, because Phil Spencer also did a podcast recently.
He didn't like him.
Well, no. Well, he said that the Xbox platform is not a platform for politics. It's not a place for, like, free speech and shit like that. He wants to keep it like gaming. And if that's really the case, that says to me, like, he's hinting we don't even want that drama on our platform. So, like, they're just gonna let the merger happen, then give him the boot, I think.
Yeah, kick him out. I agree. If they don't do that, that's PR suicide. If they don't, it's really good.
Exactly. Yeah, Microsoft doesn't want that bad press, like you all mentioned before. So, like, this, and that's why a lot of people were, like, questioning this. They're like, do you really want that headache after everything that was going on and is still going on for the people that won't let it die? Like, is this something that you truly want? But at the end of the day, it's about the IPs, and and they spent the bread to get these IPs, so they're going to essentially, hopefully, because a lot of people are still kind of worried about it, and it kind of goes back to what we were saying about Bobby Kotick, but, like, people still worried about, like, are they truly going to change the culture around since you all acquired them? Because Microsoft doesn't have this, bad press. Like, I'm sure that there probably has been something that's happened, but it hasn't been on the level of Activision Blizzard. So until we hear something about it, like, Microsoft still, for the most part, has a good, track record when it comes to how they treat their employees. So, like I said, they're going to get him up out of here. I just don't want to see him just slip out and just nothing, have been said about the situation once the acquisition is actually complete.
And for those worried, because there were some rumblings online, they were worried that Microsoft's end goal is to make the Game Pass end all be all. Phil Spencer is also on record saying that Game Pass will not replace ownership of games. They're just trying to give consumers options. So you will always have the option to buy physical copies as well as Game Pass.
I just want to say I remember how, like, almost a decade ago, people told me and told everybody else that digital games weren't going to be anything, that that wasn't going to, no one was going to adapt to that. Gamers only want physical stuff, and now look, digital has overtaken, like, physical game sales. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think we're reaching a point where, like, people are more comfortable with digital. When the Xbox One first came out, we still weren't there, I don't think.
No one wasn't ready for the DRM shit. Now look, both consoles do that shit.
Yeah, it took a little bit. It took some time.
Just takes time. Yes,
sir. Sheesh.